What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of 68 Shining Moments. Today, we are joined by none other than Patrick Ewing.
As part of the Field of 68 Shining Moments series, we are now joined by a member of that Georgetown 1984 National Championship team, now the head coach of the Surging Hoyas. It is Patrick Ewing who is with me. Patrick, flashing back to 84, I know how much you love being a part of that team, that run. What are the specific things that you remember about that team that year?
First of all, thank you for having me on, John. But the thing is, you're trying to get me to remember something that happened so long ago. It feels like it's been 100 years, but it was a great run. We had a great team. You know, you had myself, Reggie Williams, Michael Jackson, Dave Wingate, Bill Martin. We had some great players on that team. And to do all the things that we did to be able to get ourselves in the position to win that championship, I think it went back to our freshman year when we lost to North Carolina. But all the things that we did and all the losses that we accumulated over that year helped us to bond, to become more of a team, bond together, and it helped us to win.
That team, Patrick, went through adversity off the court. What was some of that adversity?
Well, it definitely went through adversity. My mom passed away. Ralph Dalton's mom passed away, and also David Wingate's mom passed away. So, and I think Coach Thompson's mom. So, you know, all of us face loss. So it made the winning the championship bittersweet. But it was great. I think it all helped us to bond and, like I said before, come together as a team.
Hoya paranoia carries many different definitions to people. How do you define Hoya paranoia?
Well, it's not paranoia, you know, if they're really after you. You know, people always talked about Hoya paranoia back then. Well, most of the country was against us. Everyone looked at us as they looked at the Raiders. You know, we were a predominantly black team. We had a black coach who was loud and boisterous. You know, who carried himself in a manner that a lot of people did not like. So, you know, a lot of people didn't like us. So yes, Hoya paranoia did exist.
You know, I remember hearing, I think Dan Patrick talked to you a little bit about this last year, of like going off that point, there was that idea that the media didn't like you. You know, I mean, did you think that the media didn't like you?
Well, you know, when you look at the things that they wrote, you know, it would say that they didn't like us. You know, I think Coach Thompson took a lot of hits to protect me, because I didn't want to do a lot of the interviews the request that came out. So a lot of people didn't like that. So, you know, in a lot of ways, yes, they did not like us.
Along that road, you win the Big East tournament in overtime over Syracuse. I know it's like 100 years ago to you, but how sweet was that?
It was great. You know, it's always great being Syracuse. You know, being Earl and, you know, Hawkins and the rest of those guys, Raphael Edison, Ronnie Cycli, they had a very good team as well. And it like you said, it took going into overtime to be able to beat them. Both teams were great, but we were able to get it done in overtime.
Before we get back into that interview, I just have to let you guys know that, yes, it is that time of year again, folks. Conference tournaments are tipping off. Bubble teams are making their final push for a bid, while the best teams in the country are gearing up for a deep run in March. Auto bids will be punched. Slippers will be fit. And our partners at DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, are putting my listeners at the center of the action. If you bet $4 on an underdog in a select game this week, and that underdog wins, you win $256. Yes, that's right, $256. Here's how it works. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code FIELD68 when you sign up. Scroll through the list of the select underdogs, bet $4 on one of them to win, and cash $256 when they do. There is no better way for you to put your college hoops knowledge to use than to put your money where your mouth is with DraftKings Sportsbook. It's safe, it's secure, it's reliable. You can deposit and you can withdraw your funds at your convenience. Trust me, I know, I use them. So remember, that's code FIELD68. That's FIELD68 to turn $4 into $256. It ain't going to get better than that, folks. For a limited time only, you must be 21 years or older. Restrictions apply. Go to DraftKings.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know, this is part of our Shining Moment series. And the shining moment, Patrick, after that Syracuse game, your first game in that NCAA tournament against Southern Methodist is a 37-36 game. Like, that to me is the craziest thing, is that it was the first game as part of the journey that was the toughest game. What do you think about it?
It's funny because I do remember that game like it was yesterday. Myself and John Concat going against each other. SMU had some very, very good players on that team. So it was definitely a defensive battle. And I remember Gene Smith getting fouled and going to the free throw line to shoot a one-on-one. And, you know, usually I'm in the back because we always set our press up. And I went over to Coach Thompson and said, I think I should get on the line. You know, Gene wasn't a very good free throw shooter. So if he missed, I wanted to have the opportunity to try to get the rebound. He missed, and I was able to tip it in, and we were able to go up by one, and then, you know, automatically win. So it was great. It was a great game, a low-scoring game, but we were able to do enough right things, like me telling coaches I need to be up on the free throw line to be able to tip it in.
Monday, April the 2nd, 1984. That's when you beat Houston 84-75. What do you remember about that night?
That was a battle. I'm going against someone who is my equal. We both were very talented. You know, we both had, you know, when you look fast forward, we both had great NBA careers. I was fortunate enough to beat him on that night. He was fortunate enough to beat me in the NBA to win a championship. But it was a great battle. And it's funny because I was sitting in my living room one night, and they were replaying that game. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, I had to call Reggie Williams. I called Reggie Williams right away. I said, Reggie, I don't know if I ever told you this, but you were a great player. The way that he played, you know, he took the game over. He was able to make shots, take shots, and help us to win that game.
After winning that championship game, in the weeks that followed, you know, a visit to the White House, all kinds of things, anything that really sits at the top of your head, celebrity status, if you will, when you were doing your championship tour?
Well, I didn't really do any a championship tour. You know, I think it's much bigger now than it was back then, especially with social media and all the different outlets that you have. I do remember going to the White House. It was great meeting President Reagan, myself and Coach Thompson, and the rest of the team. But you know, it was a different era, and they didn't celebrate it as much. When we came back on campus, we had a huge parade here on campus. All the students came out, so you know, that was our celebration. Just the students on the campus being able to go to the White House, and then just being able to celebrate it with my teammates and family. But you know, it's like I said, you know, the loss of my mom, you know, it was bittersweet. Wish she could have been there to see the fruits of her labor, all the things that she had done to put me into that position to be successful.
How soon after you won the national title were you back in class?
The next day. Once we got back on campus, we had to get back to class the next day because we were gone for so long, so we had to catch back up.
And now you did. Patrick Ewing,
yes, sir.
Thank you so much for reflecting on that remarkable run. Best of luck here as the season continues.
My pleasure, John. It's always good to see you.